Hi, I'm Rich Zartman. I majored in industrial design at Syracuse University, graduated class in 1995. I now work at Brooks Sports for the past 14 years.
Tell me a little bit, you are a design director. We see lots and lots of shoes on the wall behind you. What does that mean to be a design director for Brooks?
Design director. Essentially it is the fusion of design, engineering, and styling. And then I help guide and mentor a team of 5 or 6 other designers, a color and materials designer as well, and we more or less are responsible from A to Z, from literally concepting to prototyping all the way down to commercialization of products. So engineering all the way through, and biomechanics and everything else.
Now you said you've been here for 14 years. You must really enjoy what you do.
I do. It's a phenomenal job. I mean, I get paid to draw every day and get to work with athletes, and you know, so it's sort of my two passions coming together: athletics and drawing. And I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
When you're thinking about the next season, I mean, you're already, you said in fall 2012, right?
I'm finishing fall 12 as we speak and worrying about spring 13. So.
Wow, so you're looking into the future in your crystal ball. I mean, what is it? It's a lot of what consumers want, like their sneakers. Like, how do you keep designing new ones and new ones and new colors?
I get that question all the time, and it's amazing where you get your influences from. So we do a very good job of trying to get our designers out and into the marketplace in front of end consumers as well as retailers, and sort of make a fusion of this information, and then just add a little bit of our own special sauce into it as well. So.
For a student who might be studying industrial design or thinking about it, what's your advice to them? I mean, how did you land this, or how would you, is it internships? Is it just networking in with you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a little of everything. If I had to do it again, I'd probably definitely push the networking. I think if you consider what Syracuse brings, and you have a lot of like-minded people all in the same place, take advantage of it, because it's really kind of like a microcosm of what the world is like. So at any one time I could be working with engineers and biomechanists, I can be working with graphics department and marketers, so Syracuse has all of these things going on there, so I think it's a great opportunity to really get into it and really take advantage of what the school has.
That's a cool point too, the biomechanists that you mentioned. I mean, this is not just about making a pretty sneaker that might look nice, but you're dealing with people's feet here.
Yeah, I know a lot more about bones than I ever thought, and the anatomy than I ever thought I would coming out of school, so yeah, it's pretty high-end stuff here. So,
is there something that you would suggest? Maybe, I know the classes have changed, but maybe something that students should do to set themselves apart? I mean, you have an awesome job. You said it yourself. I mean, the networking is obviously key, but maybe something to do while they're in school, or something to focus on, or. Yeah,
I definitely think diversify. I mean, that's probably the key thing to doing it. I think as an industrial design major, they make sure that you do a lot of that. So it didn't seem logical at the time, but when you come back to it and realize how much you had to, or how much I'm going to call back on that stuff, so from the physics and things that I took at that end, which really were frustrating, to to welding and building stuff out of clay. So I take all of those things and roll it into this job. So I'm constantly referring back to those things 20 some odd years later. So.
And it's got to be pretty fulfilling for you when you see an athlete wearing your shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic when you have an athlete who takes the time or invests their money in your product that you were working on only maybe 12 months ago. It's an amazing feeling that they trust your product in their biggest race, say a half marathon, a marathon, or a triathlon or something like that. They've been training a long time, and they take their hard-earned dollar and put it into your product. It's a great feeling to see it go run by you in the park or on a race or something like that. So it's really cool.
When you look at the sneakers behind you, the ones we saw in your office, could you ever pick a favorite, or do you feel like that changes by the season?
Yeah, they're all my babies.
Yeah.
So they're it's the great thing about being here 14 years is I've had a chance to work on so many different types of products. So there really isn't a true favorite. It can be frustrating from, if it's a brand new shoe, it can be hyper frustrating because you really don't have any guidance.
Yeah.
To a shoe that you're trying to update can be super frustrating because that's just what it is. You're just trying to update a shoe. So, yeah, they all have their peaks and valleys, but they're all fun,
I like that purple one up right above your head right there. That's a new one, right?
That's
that might be my favorite. All right, Rich Zartman, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.